My dad ran a stop sign and crashed my car, and now my mom won't let me use hers because it's not her problem, so what am I supposed to do? Posted by you/you. I, 21M, have been living at my parents' house due to recent life events. We have a pretty good relationship, but of course, we have our moments. Well, about a week ago, my mom was at work and my dad needed to run by the store. He couldn't wait until mom got back, so he asked to borrow my car. I agreed to let him have it, as I didn't have anything I needed to do right then. About 40 minutes later, I got a call from him saying he had been in an accident. Of course, that scared the crap out of me, and I made sure he was okay first. He said he was fine and explained the accident. Long story short, he ran a stop sign and smacked straight ahead into another vehicle. Luckily, no one got seriously injured. Except my car. It's busted up pretty bad. Without going into much detail, the bumper, headlights, hood, and parts of the engine are messed up. I got my car in the shop, and I'm still waiting on the estimated time it will take for me to get it back. Until then, though, I need a car to get to and from work. And that's where the problem is. See, me and my mom have different work schedules, but similar enough to where I could see us working something out. She usually goes in an hour earlier than me and gets off about 30 minutes before me. I figured I could drop her off, go to work, then pick her up. Well, my mom hates that idea. She says that she doesn't want to have to rely on me to pick her up or get her to work on time. She said since she wasn't involved in the accident, she shouldn't be affected by the consequences. I told her it would just be until I got my car back, but she didn't care. I was expecting Dad to back me up, seeing as he's the reason I got into this mess. But instead, he just agreed with her and said I should find a different way. The problem is, there is no different way. There's no good public transportation system in our town, and we live about 45 minutes away from where I work. My dad then suggested I bike to work, which I quickly shut down. I'd rather not have to bike all the way to and from work every day when we could literally just share a car. I told them it was unfair for them not to let me use their car, since Dad crashed mine. Then they said I was just being ungrateful, as they were already putting a roof over my head and I shouldn't expect much more from them. I have no idea where they even thought I was being ungrateful. All I'm saying is, why would I choose a harder, more time-consuming way to work when there is an easier option? Am I being unreasonable? I feel like, at the least, Dad could convince Mom to let me use their car since this is his fault. But instead, he's just sitting there agreeing with everything she says. I would ask my siblings to chime in on this, but knowing them, they'll just agree with my parents. So, am I the jerk? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Not the jerk. Your mom's objection is that she doesn't want to rely on you to get her to work on time. Ask her to take you to work and pick you up. Yes, you'll be inconvenienced by the earlier arrival time, but you will have arrived at work without having to take public transportation or ride a bike. Maybe you can start earlier and finish earlier, at least for the short term. Failing that, honestly, your father needs to own his errors here. He wrecked your car. He needs to get you to work while your car is being repaired. Maybe he's got a friend who owes him a big favor. Maybe one of your siblings can do him the favor of loaning you a car. Maybe he can come out of his pocket to pay for Ubers or a rental. You have grounds to sue him, as he has created a problem that is impacting your ability to work. A court case is the nuclear option, though, and I wouldn't drop that bomb until I was already out of their house. Op's response. I brought up the idea of her dropping me off and picking me up. She says it will mess up her schedule, and that she doesn't want to wake up any earlier than she has to. I feel like she's just unwilling to even try to share the car. Commenter 2. This is a tough one. Dad should obviously step up and take care of this. Why isn't the insurance covering a rental while yours is in the shop? Are you living rent-free at your parents'? Not the jerk. Op's response. I'm allowed to live with them rent-free as long as I'm saving money in order to move out again. I do buy my own groceries and help with bills, though. So it's not like I'm totally living off of them. As far as the rental car goes, apparently that's not something I chose to add to my plan. So, something stupid on my part. Update 1 month later. For a little backstory, I, 21M, have been living with my parents due to some recent life events. About a month ago, I made a post here talking about how my dad crashed my car and my mom refused to let me use theirs for my commute to work. Long story short, my parents ended up paying for the expenses to have my car fixed. We also ended up sharing a car until I had mine back. After that, I thought it was done and over. My mom made a comment about it here and there, but it didn't seem to seriously bother her, until about a week and a half ago. She demanded that I pay them all the money from my car expenses back. She said it wasn't fair she lost money to an accident she didn't cause. I think that's fair, but I reminded her that I didn't cause it either. Dad caused the accident, and I told her I'm sorry that it ended up affecting her as well. But that didn't change the fact my car had to be fixed, and it was Dad's responsibility. She got really mad at that and started on a rant about how it was unfair and I was using them for money. And what was my dad's response to all this? He just agreed with her. I ended up just telling her what I've already said because there was honestly nothing else to say. She's been very upset with me since then, but she never mentioned any possibility of kicking me out. So imagine my surprise a couple of days ago when I came home to all of my stuff being outside of the house in boxes, literally on the curb. I was honestly shocked, and mad, about this, and I immediately went in the house to question my parents about it. My mom said that she was tired of letting someone so ungrateful live in her house. My dad just repeated what my mom said, but in a kinder way because I guess he thought she was being harsh. I couldn't believe it. I asked her to explain how I had been ungrateful, and she responded by basically saying, "We raised you." We went back and forth for a bit, and we were both pretty mad at each other. Then my mom told me to leave the house or else she would call the police on me. I have no idea if anything actually would have come of that situation, but at that point, I was so confused and angry that I just went outside and called around to find someone I was able to stay with. I ended up sleeping at a friend's house. It's been a couple of days now, and my siblings have both been calling me. I guess my parents must have told them what happened. I'm assuming it was specifically my mom bad talking me to them. My sister agrees with my mom and says I should have just paid the money back. My brother agrees that it was unfair for them to kick me out, but also says I should have just paid the money back. My dad has also been trying to reach me, but honestly, I've just been too mad to pick up the phone for him. I'm just so shocked by the whole situation. I wouldn't say me and my parents' relationship has always been easy street, but it's never been this bad. I honestly thought we were good until all this. The worst part is I was planning to move out and rent an apartment with a friend once their lease was up in 2 months. My parents knew that and still decided to do this. I'm just so confused, and I don't understand where they're coming from. I get they raised me and took care of me and all that, but I just feel like that doesn't give them the right to do this all of a sudden. I don't think I did anything wrong. So honestly, am I the jerk in this situation? /relevant comments. Commenter. You're not responsible for the accident, so there's no way you're responsible for the money. It's fine if they want you out, but that's not the way to do it. Do your best, find a place, live your life. When they come crawling back, tell them to F off. Warn your siblings, they'll probably do the same to them. Ops response. I probably should have said this in the post, but my siblings are older than me. My sister's in her late 20s, and my brother's in his early 30s. They're already well off and out of the house. I honestly think that's another point of tension with my mom, because right now, in her own words, I'm the only one of her kids that is failing at life. Downvoted commenter 2. You are 21. You have a job. Your parents want you to leave the house to live an independent life. There is nothing wrong with their decision. Do you expect to live with them until 40? In some cultures, kids live with their parents until they die. But it has to be mutually agreed. If one side does not want to continue, then it's time to move. Ops response. My problem isn't that they want me to move out, I'm fine with that. My problem is they did it without notice and literally sat my stuff outside. If this is just them wanting me to leave, I wish they would have just said that. Second update 1 day later. Some things have happened since my last post. I calmed down a bit and decided to finally answer one of my dad's calls. He started talking about how afraid he was that I was never going to talk to them again. Then he said that things weren't supposed to go that way the other day, and apologized for mom putting my stuff outside. Apparently, the plan was to talk to me about it first, but he said mom got caught up in her emotions. When I asked why he didn't step in, he said it was because he didn't want to upset her anymore. I didn't really want to accept that excuse, but I took it so we could move forward. That was until I got another call from my brother. Mom's been absolutely crap talking me to him and my sister. Apparently, she kept comparing me to them and how good they're doing. Mind you, they're both older than me by several years. Then she went on a rant about how much harder it's been to raise me compared to them. At one point, he says she even insinuated that I was a mistake. Though he says to take that with a grain of salt, as she didn't outright say it. My brother was uncomfortable with listening to her talk about me so harshly, and he decided to call and tell me. I'm feeling a mix of emotions about all this right now. Part of me is still mad about the whole suddenly kicking me out thing. But I'm mostly just sad about it all. Knowing that my mom is saying all this stuff behind my back only makes me think she really means it. And whether she outright said it or not, hearing that she thinks I'm a mistake honestly crushed my soul. I don't understand why still, but I guess she has her reasons. I don't really want to talk to her again, but I do really want to know the truth of why she feels this way about me. I'm not sure about Dad yet. I'm not the type to cut people off, and having to do it to one person is already too much for me. I'm still staying with my friend as of now until I figure out what I'm doing. I guess I'll see how it goes from here. /relevant comments. Commenter. Your dad is spineless, his apology is hollow, and if his wife told him to stop communicating with you, have zero doubt, he'd roll over and show his belly. Your post history shows the kind of people they are, and how little they want to hold themselves accountable. Commenter 2. Not the jerk. This also happened to me. Do you have a plan? Ops response. Not yet. Before they kicked me out, My plan was to get an apartment with a friend once their lease was up in a couple months. But I'm not sure how that will go, since I now need a new place to stay for now. My friend said I can be at his place as long as I need, but I don't really want to intrude on his space for too long. Commenter 3. Why do your siblings take your parents' side? Ops response. I think my sister just has a better connection with my mom than she does with me. As for my brother, he says he thinks the best solution to most problems is the one that causes the least problems. So he thinks if I had just paid them back, this wouldn't have happened. Third update 4 days later. So a lot more has happened over the last few days. First, I went back home the other day to grab some important things I needed. I waited to go back over there until I knew my mom would be at work and tried to make it quick, cause I didn't particularly want to see my dad either. While I was in there, I did tell him what mom had said about me. He did seem shocked she would say that to me or my siblings. But when I asked if this is the first time she's ever said that, he admitted that she's told him that more than a few times. When asked if he knew why, he just told me she has her reasons, but they're not my fault. I tried to get him to explain more, but that's really as far as he would go. I don't really know how I should feel about that, but I just went with it. I asked if that's how he felt about me too. He said it's not and that he loves me. It hasn't really felt like that's true, and I wanted to say that to him, but I just ended up saying okay. I told him I'm cutting mom completely off and him too for now. After that, I took my stuff and left. Fast forward to a couple days ago. I got a very angry series of messages from my sister about how horrible I am for turning our brother against our mom. She said I made mom cry and that I should be ashamed of myself. Needless to say, I had no idea what she was talking about. As far as I knew, my brother wasn't against anyone in this situation, so I was just confused. I tried to ask her to explain, but I should know by now that I never get an answer from that. So instead, I called my brother to ask him directly. Apparently, mom found out that I knew about what she said. I'm assuming dad told her. Then she called my brother and screamed at him for going behind her back and telling me. To which he responded that she was the only one saying things behind people's backs, and that she was being unreasonably mean to me for no real reason. He told her she should get her priorities straight and go yell at dad for causing this whole thing. Then he told her not to call him again if all she was going to do was yell about someone or something. I honestly wasn't expecting that from my brother. He's not the type to step into conflict if he doesn't have to. But obviously, her yelling at him set him off. I'm not trying to say I'm happy she did that, but I'm happy my brother responded the way he did. Obviously, she cares more about what he thinks than she does me. I told my brother about what dad says, and he agrees his response feels weird. I asked if he possibly knows why since he's a bit older than me, but he's just as shocked about this all as I am. He also said he would talk to my sister about everything and get her to back off. So now I'm waiting to see how things go with that. Like I said before, I'm not the type to cut people off, but if my mom is just going to use my sister to talk to me, I'm going to block her too. Also, as far as housing goes, I decided to take my friend up on his offer and stay until my other friend's lease is up. That's the update for now. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Your mom is probably a narcissist, and possibly more. Your dad might have a few fleas of his own. Same with your sister. Narcs are like cancer. They mentally and emotionally infect those around them. I think it's wise you're cutting them off. Commenter 2. So your dad leaves you without transport, and then allows you to become homeless as well? What a hero your dad is. Then he creeps around behind mom's back to say he's scared you'll never talk to them again. He should be scared. It's not even like you can sleep in your car. He destroyed every piece of security you ever had, your car, your home, and stood by and let it blow up your relationship with them too. That was the moment he needed to stop mom from spiraling and make it right, replace your car, and tell her he did the wrong thing. He might claim to feel bad, but clearly not bad enough to do the right thing. And then expects you to still speak to him. So no consequences for him then? Your dad is spineless, and he created this entire situation. Your mother, however, wow. She's evil. Fourth update 12 days later. I had a conversation with my dad a few days ago. My brother and I talked him into giving me a better response than mom has, her reasons. I just wanted to know why or if mom had any reason for saying what she said. And he finally told me. The story, according to dad, is that he and my mom were in their late 30s or early 40s when they found out mom was pregnant again. Which I did know, and after reading some comments, I thought might be contributing to this whole thing. At the time, they had decided that they were fine with just my siblings and were done having children. So it wasn't the best surprise to them. But they didn't have any option but to go along with it. Apparently, the pregnancy was super hard for my mom. He said she was always in and out of the hospital. It put a lot of stress on my parents, and they had to worry about mom's life and mine. Eventually, mom began feeling some type of resentment. Dad even said that mom started to question if the pregnancy being so bad was a sign God didn't want her to have me. And the birth was apparently also very traumatic for her. She ended up having to give birth prematurely due to complications and lost a lot of blood during the process. Which led to more pain and resentment. Dad said mom had a hard time connecting with me as a baby and that she said it didn't feel right. Then, when I was a kid, I had some health issues, which added more stress onto their plate. So mom eventually started believing that God had made some type of mistake and accidentally punished them with me. I want to say that hearing that did make me sad for mom. And I do feel bad for what she went through to bring me into this world. But at the same time, I didn't choose for her to do that. So to get blamed for it seems unfair. They had a decision to prevent this if they didn't want it. And they actively chose not to. Or at least Dad did, as in his own words he doesn't believe in contraception. He did also mention another reason, though. Mom never wanted me to move back into the house. She had been waiting so long for the house to be empty already. So she was angry at the thought of me staying at home once again. He said she always thought my reasoning was stupid and that I was overreacting. Dad ended up convincing her to let me stay for a little while, though. Though I think Dad believes the same. He just didn't want to seem bad. I'm not going to go into too much detail about why I moved back in. But to sum it up, my abusive ex tried to literally kill me. So I had to find a new place to stay quick, and at the time everything was too expensive for me. Plus, none of my friends lived nearby then. So my parents were the best choice, and I thought they were fine with it. I've never seen it as a point of tension between us, but I will say that my dad's made fun of me more than a few times for it. I assume that's what mom's view is too on it, that it's a stupid excuse. So that's what my dad says mom's reasoning for all this is. And he's as close as I can get to asking her directly, so I'm going to have to take his word for it. After hearing all of this, I'm not really sure what to make of it. I wouldn't say it helped, and honestly, it has made me feel a bit worse somehow. But I'm stupid for looking for an answer in the first place. I've been so stressed, confused, and sad lately that I probably just would have done better accepting that the woman may have hated me for no reason. But now that I've gotten that, I'm still cutting off my mom, dad, and my sister because she still won't even listen to me. She and my mom are still harassing me, and I'm just not even in a state of mind to deal with it all anymore. I know I said I'm not the cutting off type, but I realized I'm going to feel horrible either way. So why not just remove myself? Obviously, they've never wanted me around anyway. And a bit of an update on my current situation. My friends have still been supporting me and helping me through all this, which I cannot be more grateful for because if it weren't for them, I honestly don't know if I could handle all this. In worse news, my job let me know I was being let go, which isn't related to this situation at all but just feels like a kick in the face. I don't know what I did to piss the universe off, but obviously, things aren't going in my favor. So my plan is still to stay with my friend and get an apartment with another one once their lease is up in 2 months. But now I also have to find another job. Anyways, that's the update. I'm sorry it's so long, but so much has happened and been said. I'm feeling absolutely terrible right now, and I'm just trying to get past all this. Hopefully, in a couple of months, I can come back and update you with more positive news. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Jesus Christ. My heart bleeds for you, son. You deserve better parents than a mentally unbalanced mother and a spineless father. Push yourself, do better, and excel at life despite them. Was your brother present when your father was telling you all this? If so, what were his reactions? Op's response. Yeah, my brother was there. He agrees that mom has a right to be angry about what happened during her pregnancy. He was old enough to remember how much mom was in the hospital when she was pregnant, so he does know that part's true. But she doesn't have a right to take it out on me. And if my parents truly wanted no more kids, they should have protected against it more. We've been talking back and forth about the whole thing, and he's just been checking in to see how I'm doing. He has also been upset to find this out. Commenter 2. Wow, your parents really suck. They thought they were done having kids but don't believe in using contraceptives? That makes no sense, unless they plan to stop having sex. You didn't ask to be born, so anything your mother went through was not your fault. Their view of you being a punishment of some kind is. I don't even have words for that. If your mother resented your existence so much, they should have used some type of contraception, terminated the pregnancy, or given you up for adoption. Any of those options would have been better than to treat your child as a mistake. Also, your reasoning for needing to move back is not a stupid excuse. Would they really have preferred you ending up in the hospital or dead? Stay safe, and yeah, cutting them off is probably the best option for your own health and safety. Op's response. I think the whole stupid excuse thing comes from the suddenness of the whole situation for them. From their perspective, one day after years of what seemed to be a happy relationship, I randomly started claiming my girlfriend was trying to kill me. They think I'm being dramatic when I say that. Which, I will say, is the one thing I don't blame them for. I covered for her anytime she hurt me, no matter how bad it was. Like I said, it took her literally almost killing me for me to realize I needed to leave. Before that, I did everything in my power to make it seem like everything was okay. I never ever made her out to be the bad guy. So I guess it's just all a little unbelievable for them. That's my fault. Or maybe they actually just didn't care. One of the two. But everything else is 100% their fault. I have no idea why they thought the outcome of having sex was randomly going to change just because they decided to stop having kids. They should have done something to prevent it. Fifth update 4 months 2 weeks later. It's been a while since I updated on my situation. A few people have been asking if I'm alright and if things have gotten better, so I decided to just make another post about what's currently happening. For starters, I still haven't talked to my mom over the past few months. From the few things I have heard, though, she has begun acting like I don't even exist. She's stopped bringing me up so much when talking to my siblings. She's apparently gotten rid of any photos that have me in them. Then she started referring to my siblings as her only 2 children, especially my brother, who she keeps making it a point to call her only son. My brother is tired of arguing back and forth with her, so he ignores whenever she says stuff like that. And honestly, I don't really mind her doing any of that. It hurts, of course, but it's right on track with everything else she's said and done the past few months. Plus, it's really only fair since I haven't talked to her. I haven't talked to my dad either. I do know he has asked my brother about me a few times. Part of me does feel bad for not talking to him. I have a feeling, though, that if I did talk to him again, a lot of it would be about how I should try and talk to mom. And I don't want to do that. As for my sister, I actually have spoken to her. My brother finally convinced her the whole situation wasn't totally my fault, so we've talked a little bit. Not a whole bunch, but it's something. And when it comes to my brother, I believe these last few months have been the most I've talked to him. It's been great. I feel like our relationship is better than it's ever been, and having at least one person from my family on my side has made things easier. My living situation has also gotten better. I did manage to secure a new job after I lost mine. A couple of months ago, me and my friend did move in together, which has been going great. And just my friends in general have been supporting me throughout all this. Been going through a rough patch mentally lately, not only because of the whole getting kicked out thing, but a combination of stuff that happened before and after that. So just having people there to take my mind off of stuff has helped a lot actually. So that's the update. My situation has improved quite a bit. My life is less chaotic now. Feeling emotionally drained still, but I assume that will change over time. And also, thanks for the kind messages and check-ins people have been sending me. I've been off of here for a little while, so coming back to that was nice. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I'm shocked that anyone in your family thinks this is your fault at all, to be honest. I just got here but read your prior posts. You held your dad accountable for an accident he caused, and this blew up into World War III because your mom clearly hasn't been to therapy. Is everyone just afraid to upset her? Why did your siblings or parents think you should have paid them back for the repairs in the first place? He broke it, he pays for it. Did your mom even want kids to begin with? Can't imagine wanting an empty house so badly that your kids are unwelcome to come home if life happens. Is there a cultural nuance here that I may be missing as a white American? I'd be grateful my adult kid felt safe enough to come to me for help if life went awry as yours did. What the hell? Ops response. No, you're not missing anything. I think the only reason they think it's my fault is because I should have just paid it back, or simply paid for it myself in the first place. Then it wouldn't have spiraled into this. Also, for my mom, I think she believes I was being ungrateful for asking them to pay for the repairs. Which I don't think I was, or at least I wasn't trying to be. Mom did want kids, just not me. After I moved out, I'm sure she thought she was done with all that. So me needing to move back in was kind of a kick in the face to her. Which I can understand, it's just the fact that I wasn't even staying for that much longer. And I only moved in because I literally couldn't stay where I was before. Commenter 2. Just read through the prior posts, and I hate to break it to you, but your mom is worthless. She doesn't take responsibility for anything she does, and I bet that, extrapolating that, it's been her pattern her entire life. It's always someone else that caused her problems, and the ones that no one else is involved in, she blames God. It's pathetic. She got pregnant because she had unsafe sex with your father. She didn't get a termination to prevent a pregnancy she didn't want, that she caused to happen. Everything that happened is some combination of her or her husband's fault, but she can't possibly take responsibility for her own actions, so she blames you, something that didn't even have a conscious thought in its soft little head yet. Her husband destroyed your property, and it's your fault they need to pay for what they did? Usually, it takes more effort to see these deep-reaching behavioral patterns, but she is a walking billboard of her personal failings. Your father is just weak, to the point of being unreliable. His soft-spoken words and his whispers to you that everything is okay and he loves you are meaningless. He hides them from your mother, and regardless, words mean little. Actions are how you judge a person, and his actions are clear, he supports the narcissist.